Oh, okay, hang on, I did that wrong. I've got to go back and do a big sigh like every other fucking YouTuber ever. Hang on, bear with. Was that good? I feel like I really captured the YouTuber confession video there. I mean, this isn't a confession video, but I have got some explaining to do, let's face it. Hello, it's been a while. So long, actually. This kind of feels weird again. I'd got so used to talking into a camera lens, it just felt kind of natural. But, I mean, it's been over a year since my last upload, and to be honest, I'm rusty. I'm really rusty. So I thought I'd make this video because my channel was such a huge part of me for a very, very long time. I doubt anyone actually cares where I went or what I'm doing or even why I stopped YouTube. But I feel like for closure, for me at least, and for anyone who might actually care out there, I did actually have a comment maybe a few months ago now saying, hey man, where did you go? And I thought, oh, that's so nice, someone does care. So I thought, you know what, I'll make this video. I've been planning to make this video for a while. Have you heard that before? I know. So I thought, let's just make this video and I'll explain to you guys where I've been and what my thoughts are, because I feel like this is important to me. So like I said, it's been over a year since I actually uploaded onto my channel, and I did a 4-year stint on YouTube, over 1,000 videos. It was a huge part of my life at the time, and I just went back onto my channel for the first time in months this morning, just reminiscing really, and I did realise that I do actually miss it. I do miss making videos, doing YouTube. I had a great time with it, I had a great laugh. And I did enjoy it at the time, I really did, and I always said in videos quite openly, if I ever stop enjoying it, that's when I'll stop. And that's what kind of brings us to the end, or the last video I ever uploaded a year ago, so let me explain. So among other things that I'll get to in a minute, the final straw for me was YouTube Rewind 2018. And what I mean by that is, YouTube Rewind's never been amazing, but when I looked at YouTube Rewind 2018, and I think most people had the same reaction, it was clear that YouTube's just so disconnected from their community. I mean, it was the most pandering piece of shite I've ever seen. And I had expressed my worries and my kind of annoyances with YouTube before, but really it was the final straw for me. When I watched YouTube Rewind, I realised that YouTube, it's not the same YouTube that I actually fell in love with, and it's not the same YouTube I wanted to be a part of. I mean, YouTube has gone way down the corporate route, which, as a company, as a business, it makes sense for them, okay? I understand why YouTube are going to this more corporate kind of platform. But I love YouTube, or I did love YouTube, because there was some real personality behind the creators and behind what was being created. Now I think YouTube's just too oversaturated. There's too much worry about money, there's too much worry about being PG. I mean, for fuck's sake, all this demonetization is still a meme. Even now, when it happened way back in 2017, if I remember rightly. I mean, it's just got too much for me, personally. What I loved about YouTube at the start, I used to watch, I grew up on Paul Soares Jr., Jacksepticeye, Markiplier. It all felt personal. You know, it didn't feel like I was watching a TV show. It didn't feel like I was watching a really high production value piece of content. It felt like I was either playing a game or having a laugh with a genuine person, and I loved their personality, I loved their comedy, and I just had a good time. I didn't need to worry or think about much. It just felt very personal in my own home, and that's what I loved about it. So when I watched YouTube Rewind 2018, I got to the end of the video and thought, you know what, I don't really want to be a part of this, to be honest. I really didn't like which way YouTube was going, and I thought, if I was to ever find success, which is something I'll talk about later, would I really want to represent YouTube or be a part of the larger YouTube community when it's like this? And I thought ultimately, no. So I binned it off. That was the final straw, but there were other things that led up to it, and let's talk about those now. So this had kind of built up for a while, but it became a chore, to be honest. I mean, I used to love, and I put all my time. There would be days when I was back in school and I had the weekends off or had summer holidays, I would spend literally all day doing videos. I would get up, I would record, then I'd spend half a day editing, then I'd upload, and by the time that's all finished, it was like 6 o'clock in the evening, ready for tea, and you know, I was ready to start another day. I put all my time and effort into it, and as I kind of grew up, I came out of school, I realised that, yeah, there's a lot more to life than, you know, what I've been experiencing so far. One, I didn't have the time for YouTube, and I think people noticed that if you ever actually watched my videos, there would be loads of times where I just didn't upload, or I said, oh, there's stuff in the pipeline, but I'm just finding the time, or I'd have loads of breaks, then I'd come back and be like, I'm so sorry, there's just been no time, you know. I just couldn't find the time to actually do the amount of work I wanted to do and wanted to put into it. And also, I just didn't have the energy, to be honest. I always put a lot of energy into my videos, which is, yeah, I'll talk about in a second. And I was kind of living a second life, right? I was living a persona, and I was putting all this energy into these videos when I really didn't have that energy. And maybe that came across as quite fake. I think it did in some of my videos, to be honest. The enjoyment just kind of disappeared for me, and if you're doing YouTube for any other reason but enjoyment, you know, as a small YouTuber, then there's really no point to it, because that's really all you have. You're not being paid for it, you're doing this in your spare time, it's a hobby, right? So if you're not enjoying it, why continue? I think for me, I love being in front of a camera. I'm a very extroverted person, you know, even now. Love being in the spotlight, it's great, but for me, what really killed the enjoyment, which is quite a lot of being a YouTuber, is the editing. Oh my god, I hate editing. And I was trying to put more emphasis on the editing, because I thought, that's the key. I'll get really big if I do really good editing. And to be honest, my editing was never that good anyway. I can't edit to save my fucking life. And so I put loads of effort into editing, and I just ended up hating it. And it was hours and hours of just boredom, to be honest. And I thought, I've got to do this, I've got to get the video out, and it's going to be awesome. And then I put all this effort into editing that I hated anyway. Then I'd upload the video, and it'd get like 10 views, and I'm like, well, that's not as good as I thought it was going to do. You know, a lot factored into that, but it is draining. It is emotionally and kind of mentally draining to put all this work into something and hope that it's going to improve or kind of push you forward in the direction you want to go, and it doesn't, and you're just like, oh, why am I doing this, you know? So for me, YouTube became a chore, and maybe that's because I was doing it for 4 years, day in, day out. Maybe I put unrealistic kind of goals on myself. That's probably definitely it, and I don't think I was looking at YouTube in the correct way at that time, and it just ended up draining me, to be honest. And also, when I look back at my videos, I realised that I really wasn't portraying the person that I am in real life, to be honest. I kind of had this online persona, and that online persona is me. It's just a very, very heightened version of me, and I think quite a few YouTubers, from what I know, do this, but it is exhausting. I mean, I am an extroverted person. I do like being in front of the camera, and, you know, I do enjoy all that. I'm very upbeat most of the time, but I think I was trying to push this. You've always got to be very positive, you know, you've always got to be as funny as possible, and that just doesn't work when you're trying too hard, to be honest. I mean, the reality of it is you can't always be super positive, because I think that kind of, it throws a blanket over your channel and makes you look quite fake, to be honest. You've got to, obviously, you can't come on, you know, the camera and go, life is awful, you know, that's not what I'm saying. But I feel like I was trying to convince myself and the viewers that I am always really positive, and you should be too, you know, which I don't think is real. And that kind of goes against what I don't like about YouTube anymore, because I like the reality, let's say I like the personal feel of YouTube, and that's what I set out to kind of create, but I think I deviated from that. I think I then got too worried about what other people were doing and what other people were trying to do, and I tried to do it better, but in a really shit way. I mean, also, if we look at my videos back, I put a lot of effort into trying to be funny. Now, I'll be the first to say it, then I'm not funny in those videos. I'm really not, because I'm just kind of shouting anything that comes to mind that I think is funny, and it really isn't. Let's face it, you know. I mean, there are some videos I look back at and go, yes, that's still gold, right? There's a couple things, but the majority I look back at and go, Jesus Christ, I wouldn't watch this, you know? And I think that's just a wake-up call, to be honest, because at the time, I was putting a lot of thought on trying to be big and trying to, I thought I was doing all the right things, but really I should have stepped back and gone, alright, what am I actually doing? Am I enjoying this? Am I making myself out to be an idiot for no bloody reason? Because that's ultimately what I was doing. I was kind of trying to be this wacky kind of person, whoa! And it just made me look like a retard, to be honest. No, I can't say that. And hey, I mean, I was enjoying it at the time, but I look back at it now and go, why? Don't get me wrong, I'm the kind of person that will do a lot of stupid stuff because I think it's funny, and I have the confidence to say that I'm not embarrassed by that. But some of the stuff in my videos, it's just clear. I mean, if you want to go back and have a look, just have a look at pretty much any video, you know, outside of walkthroughs, but even inside of some walkthroughs, it's quite clear that I'm trying too hard to be funny, and that's partly what makes it not funny, but also it makes it really cringy to watch. So that's just a bit of self-reflection, to be honest. I think all of that kind of totaled to me just kind of in the end going, you know what, now I'm not into this anymore, which is a shame, because I genuinely, thinking back, really enjoyed my time doing YouTube overall. It was something that I had spent years wanting to do, even from when I was about 10 years old, I think, was the first time I kind of heard about YouTube and thought, this is really cool, I want to get involved. And from about age 10 to about 14, I think it was 2014 I started my channel, I had saved up so much money doing my paper round to get like the best equipment I could possibly get at the time. I had put so much thought into what I was going to do and where it was going to go. Maybe that's probably one of the things that went wrong, because I already had a mindset of this is where I want to be, you know, by X amount of time, which is good in some respects, but I'll get onto that in a minute. And yeah, I really did put a lot of effort into YouTube, and even when I started over the 4 years, it was my life, basically. It was a massive part of my life, and I really enjoyed it overall. Until about the end there, when I probably started to wake up to reality. I will say now though, just quickly, if any of you watching are getting into YouTube or you want to, chasing success is bad. I don't mean that in a mean way. It's important to have aspirations, it's important to have goals, but you've got to make them realistic. I spent too much time thinking, right, at 200 subscribers, how do I get to 200,000? How do I get to 2 million? You know, how do I get that juicy golden 1 million play button, you know? And that's unhealthy. If you think like that, you'll get yourself into a rut and you'll stop eventually, because that's not how it works. There's so many people trying to do YouTube, and there's so many people who just won't slip through the net, to be honest. It's such an oversaturated market now, it's very unlikely that you will find substantial success. Not to say that you won't, but just be aware that it's incredibly difficult. And you've got to set yourself some realistic goals, otherwise you're just going to mentally drain yourself. By realistic goals, I mean, okay, I'm at 200 now, let's get to 500, you know? That's not a huge number, but it's a goal, right? And you just slowly up the goal, you slowly up, and all the time you've got to be thinking, how am I going to improve, what's the angle here? You have got to think quite corporately, to be honest, which is not what I want to do, because it's not, you know, what I like about YouTube. But if you want to do anything successful on YouTube, you've got to think somewhat corporately. You've got to think business if you want to get big. But I'm not going to stick to this topic any longer, because to be honest, I don't know enough about it. All I'm really trying to drive home is the fact that if you dream too big too soon, it's inevitable that you're going to fall, because it's going to mentally drain you. I always thought that I was in it just for the fun, but really deep down I was chasing unrealistic success, and I think I should have set my goals a bit lower to start off with, just to kind of get the ball rolling, you know, to keep myself going. And then as maybe I grew, I would have set my goals higher. But you've got to know where your limit is at the moment and improve from there. Okay, so I think that's everything I wanted to say. It's been weird speaking in front of a camera again, to be honest, and I've probably waffled. I've always been bad at that. So I'm hoping I got all my points across. I'm hoping you're not asleep yet. Will I get back to YouTube? Maybe. I've been sitting there this morning looking at my channel going, oh, you know what, I'd love to get back into it. But I'm warning everyone now, if I was to get back into it, it would be very different to what I used to do. It would be very, very low-key, very chill. I'm not going to be chasing, you know, any sort of success on YouTube. I'm literally just going to have a very, very relaxed approach to it if I come back to it. Because to be honest now, I don't play games, you know, very often, to be honest. And when I do, I just do it for fun. So maybe I'll do some, maybe, you know, real-life stuff. I don't know if anybody would be interested in that. If you are interested, let me know, I suppose, because it is something I would kind of like to get back into casually. I really do miss it sometimes, and I did have a lot of fun. So maybe I'll get back into it and just, you know, play it nice and low-key, nice and casual. We'll see how it goes. And maybe I'll do better than I used to do. You never know. Maybe I was just overworking myself for no fucking reason. And if I just calm it down, it'll all go well. But we'll see. As I say, I've got a lot on my plate now. I've got a lot of new interests. It might be fun to explore those on YouTube, to be honest. So, I don't know. We'll see. Let me know what you're thinking. If you want to see my face again, if you really want me back, let me know. If not, I'll fuck off again. It's fine. But regardless, I feel like this video has brought a close to the 4-year stint, you know, the era of JTP YouTube. This is closure, I think. And if I do come back, it'll be under the same channel, I think, but it'll be slightly different. So, but I think it'll be different in a good way. So, I'm still undecided, but you guys will know if I come back or not. I mean, this will be the last video I make if I don't come back. But I'm somewhat excited to try it again and just do it in a different way. So, that's my answer. Not very conclusive, I know, but then again, I doubt anyone cares. Okay, that's everything I'm going to say. So, I haven't done this in a while, but thank you very much for watching this video. If you liked it, be sure to like, share, and subscribe. It helps me out a bunch. And, what did I used to say? Fuck! If you like, share, and subscribe, helps me out a bunch, and was it, I'll just see you in the next video? I can't fucking remember. Oh, damn. See you next time, boys. I seriously can't remember what I used to say. See you in the next one. Fuck's sake. I seriously can't remember what I used to say. I will see you in... No. I seriously can't remember what I used to say. So, I'll see you dudes and lasses. That's shit. I seriously can't remember what I used to say. I will see you guys in the next episode. That'll do. That was cringy as fuck. Jesus Christ. Woo. Alright.